Hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to year 489 of Pendragon, Age of Uther. We're all here. Voice levels sound good. Perfect. I'm Eric. I'm your game master. Here, they pronouns. I'm responsible for playing everybody else in the universe, except for some fine knights here. And you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to hear all these three awesome people, because now there's another person here for us, joining us for a special time today. But we'll get to her in just a second. Colin, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm Colin, he, they pronouns. I am playing Sir Gareth the Hungry, who is turning out to be just a Machiavellian piece of shit. And a lot of fun, a lot of fun. I'm supposed to throw it to Jim, I think.
Charlie.
Damn.
It's okay. We're all coming back. It's our first time back in a couple weeks. We're shaking off the rust.
And I'm new, so I'll hop in next.
Yes.
Since that was the order. So I'm Charlie, she, her pronouns. Frost from Fire on the Twitters or Encounter RP, depending on what day it is and what time it is. I will be playing Keith the Thoughtful.
Excellent. I am, sweet. I am Jim. You can go Jim Davis. Actually, is the last name. You can check me out on Twitter at the real Jim Davis. Although I'm not really on Twitter much anymore. That's more for a soul cleansing kind of thing for myself. But I will be he, him pronouns, and I am playing Sir Erwin of Cholderton, and he's a workaday lunch pail knight. You know, he doesn't grandstand and the like. He's modest, people tell him. And I'm excited to be back.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about modesty, right? You can't announce yourself as modest.
Yeah, no. Other people say
it doesn't work
he's
that way.
modest.
Yes, other people say it. And speaking of what other people say, so we're playing Pendragon, the chivalric role-playing game. I start each session with either a quote or a limerick or something like that, or a poem. And today I have two quotes that I want to share. The first one, which will be like, that's an interesting quote. Why would you choose that? And you'll hear it, and you'll figure it out in a little bit. But it is from an old author by the name of Robert Chambers. And it's, "For I knew that the king in yellow had opened his tattered mantle, and there was only God to cry to now." That's quote number one. And quote number two, it's from a little bit of a better source, a friend of mine, a fellow gamer by the name of Luke Crane. His character in our Pendragon game had a really good line that I'm using now for this one. Oh god, I just broke everything. 1 second. How do I undo? Nope. As I do. How did I do this?
You invoke Luke and just it's all
I did, and then
Everything's broken.
I have
Contention.
What have I done? There we go. Now you can read Charlie's name again. Sorry. This is Hrethwic's quote, a Saxon knight. "Honor can overplay its hand, but glory is eternal."
nice.
All right. So that's where we're kind of getting started with. I like quotes to set the tone of a session. And speaking of setting the tone, due to random NPC rules, this year we're starting off with a bang. There's not going to be like slow intro here describing what's going on in your stuff during the spring, because we're technically not even in 489 yet. This mission is so important that it's happening in the winter of 488. Okay, here's the smack. All right, so sometime during last year, perhaps when you were all invading Frankland, a sacred oak tree was cut down belonging to a dwindling order of druids in a grove by Broughton. I'm going to bring us over to a map real quick because everyone...
Camelot is a nowhere right now. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So it's kind of on a road to nowhere right now. All right. This was only supposed to happen once the last druid of this order died, a 100-plus-year-old bard by the name of Llwyd. L-L-Y-D. I'll write that in the chat. Llwyd wrote to Roderick demanding an apology and never got one, and then wrote another one. Months went by. So finally, Llwyd shows up to the city of Sarum this winter, and Roderick refused him. So he denied his apology. But nevertheless, being a bard, Lewid gave a story to the people at court. He gave a story of an ancient king, and by the end of it, he ends it with a curse. He promised to everybody at court who heard this story, Roderick not among them, but a couple other notables I'll get to later says that unless he gets his apology or some sort of satisfaction at the end of this fortnight, aka before the solstice, the stars will all turn black. Now, a raving 100-year-old druid, who cares? Typically. However, an outbreak of something resembling slow fever hit Sarum a day after the visit, and that's caused a lot of concern. In fact, by the end of this outbreak, this is typhoid, for those who don't know, slow fever, a couple people have died, and a couple people got really sick. Two people who survived who were really sick were Lady Elaine, Roderick's wife, as well as Sir Ewid, who replaced Sir Lycus, who was retired as Marshal. Sir Lycus the Wolf, who was too old.
Right.
He also was taken sick. However, they recovered. The two people who did not recover was Father Tui, the head priest of British Christianity in Sarum. He passed away, as well as Sir Bar. And Sir Bar was one of the court knights. They passed away from the illness.
I think I remember him.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's
I think he came up during a feast, I think.
Sure.
I had other problems during those feasts.
So the scene where we're going to start today, y'all, is the three of you arriving after getting like rushed messages through like the snow. Like couriers from Sarum have come for the three of you to show up to Sarum to answer to Roderick and about what's going on here and figure out this task. So the three of you, rather than describe necessarily where you were getting this message, it's going to be the three of you kind of arriving together. What's interesting here is that Charlie's character is not yet a knight. Charlie's knight is a squire, and we'll describe, and I'll have a chance for you to describe yourself in a moment. So you all, the letter message that there be three of you. The last one here would be Charlie's character, who's Keith, and so I think we're going to start with the two people, with Colin and Jim, kind of waiting to be. Or Erwin and Gareth, I should say, are waiting in sort of like Sarum's court, waiting for your third to show up. And this way, Charlie has a chance to describe their character coming in through the snow before we move on and accept this mission.
I think Gareth is like, we're standing out waiting to go in, right? And Gareth is standing there, like hands on the hips, like standing tall. And Beryl, his squire, is like desperately trying to fix that new scabbard that Erwin gave me last year, trying to get it on the belt because like it's the winter. We weren't expecting to go out, and Beryl has once more proven what a terrible squire he is, and has failed to fix the right scabbard to my belt. So I'm just standing there as he's working, like calmly berating him.
Yes. It is a very, very, very unlikely for anybody to be out in this type of weather, especially at night, especially doing some sort of task. This is, I want to emphasize, nasty. This is nasty and unexpected.
Do I still have Frayed as my squire after the incident in Normandy?
Yep.
Or not Normandy, Brittany?
No, you still do,
okay.
For sure.
All right. Okay, so, I feel like that I think he's just going to be quiet. This kind of cold, Erwin's just huddled up, blanket or robe, wrapped around him and just is waiting for the moment that he has to act. He's not particularly happy. He had a lot going on back home.
Totally. Okay. So the two of you are kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, just...
Right. Which is when we see... not Kerwin. I changed the overlay. For some reason, it's not there. That's fine. Cedric, you come in through the cold.
Keith.
I said...
Keith.
Oh, Keith.
You said
not
Cedric.
Cedric. Yes.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Not Cedric. I'm not sure who Cedric is.
I don't know. It's neither.
But coming through the cold, stomping through the already slushy snow is a great dapple grey horse whose hooves are kind of covered by black, thick socks, which seem to suggest perhaps it is not a purebred English horse, but perhaps something mixed with a heavier breed, something perhaps of a shire nature. And it makes sense because atop this mighty steed is young Keith, the 21-year-old squire with a serious and thoughtful face. It's hard to tell because he's mounted, but it's very likely he is over 6 feet tall as he comes into view and blocks out a number of the trees that line the side of the road here. He is wrapped in furs and good clothes for travel, but there is something simple in his garb that suggests a lack of fortune, perhaps.
Is this something where we would recognize whether or not they are a knight versus a squire?
No. They're dressed more or less the same.
All right. Yeah.
You can make a recognize
Gareth.
roll, though, if you want.
Oh, right. That's a thing. Yeah, why not?
Actually, I think would be heraldry because they are dressed in their knightly garb and not at court.
Right. I'm not trying to remember someone's face. I'm trying to recognize their heraldry.
Nah, you have
That's
no
a
idea
no.
who this is,
Yeah.
which makes sense. They're in the middle of nowhere. Nothing personal, Keith.
Yeah. I think Gareth brushes Beryl aside and just, raises a hand. Says, "Well met in Paul Snows. Who might you be?"
Treacherous weather indeed. My name is Keith, son of Michael.
You have no idea who this is.
Yeah.
Greetings, Keith. I'm Sir Erwin.
Sir Gareth, what has brought you to this hall, much as us, in such terrible weather, such terrible times, with terrible squires?
Sorry, my lord.
No, you're not, and
sorry.
that's the worst part.
I'm sorry your squire disappoints you.
Constantly.
I answer a summons to do my duty.
Well, there's no better reason to leave hearth and home then.
Tis my hoping it will make me a knight. Tis
It
most
shall
urgent
not.
that I become one.
Nothing can make you a knight except you.
Perhaps.
Do you know something of the duty to which we've been called?
Only what is in the letter.
I try not to read those. Owen, what was in the letter?
There was an outbreak of fever related to a supposed curse that the old druid at Broughton struck upon the nobles at Duke's Court. We had to, I'm assuming, ascertain what is the problem. We need to bring the do we get a name? Luid to justice or something or the other. You know how we handled the last one so delicately.
So imagine again right now, like you are not even in the main reception hall of Sarum. Sarum is actually under lockdown because this is very typical what you do because they don't want the rich any more rich people getting sick. So you're actually all kind of waiting in kind of like a gatehouse, I guess, of Sarum where you can't go any further. So you're waiting for someone from the keep to kind of go over there and pass you a message or maybe even the Earl himself come out, which would be kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But speaking of the devil, Roderick himself does show up. He's dressed in a white fur pelt, similar to the one that it was a gift to Uther. He shows up and he's looking all good, except he has a little bit of like a cough. You can see him as he comes up, and he looks at you all, and the first thing he does is he apologizes for asking you all to come out here at such short notice in the middle of winter.
No need. What is it that done?
Well, whatever this bastardly bard's done, I wish you to stop this curse or whatever it is. Deliver my justice.
And
He seems very mad.
yes, and the offense that caused the curse, perhaps the letter went into, well, not as much detail as might be useful.
No, he says it's that is the feeble brain of the druid. It's nothing of concern. He seems like pretty like forward with this.
Okay. And did we know who actually did the chopping down?
No.
Is that okay? Well,
It's only that the druid is like, hey, I'm still here. You couldn't have cut it down, and Roderick's just kind of giving him the go around to it. So
right.
like, I don't care, man. Just take care of this. But now these things are sick. He's like, how dare you curse my place?
Right,
take it
yeah.
out now.
Yeah.
Because he thought I want to emphasize here how like inconsequential he thought this guy was.
Right. Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's making this huge problem.
It seems like it, yeah. Do you know where the bard is now?
Yeah, the grove is centered outside of Broughton, on the road to Camelot, that old dump.
Yes. I'm familiar with it by name only. But we will make haste there.
Aye.
My
right
lord,
hard.
if I may speak.
Yes, Squire. Forgive me, I do not know your name, but I know you are son of Michael.
I am, my lord. If you believe the truth that curse may have been brought upon your house, then surely you must believe the curse that there was an offense. The truth that there was an offense.
He dismisses you, but he's willing to hear more.
If the curse is true, such a thing might only be summoned by one truly offended. Thus, whether you deem the original action of consequence or not, it has been deemed so by those that might power a curse.
Squire
Therefore,
speaks true.
If you were to cut down this man in addition to the tree, would you not be causing double the offense and risking the exact same in a curse?
That man is a sorcerer who has prolonged his age. It says rebuttal to you. But he's willing to listen. So I think you're trying to plead with him to seek reason here. So I think you're asking a merciful call.
Okay.
Right? You're imploring
Yes.
Earl Roderick to look to mercy. So I think you should test your mercy here.
Okay.
You pass.
Success.
Cool. So Roderick is going to test his own mercy. He succeeds, but you succeeded better by 1.
Ooh.
So you
We
win.
did.
So he
Nice.
hears you out by it. This is amazing because during an opposed test, it's Price is Right, and so you out Price is Righted him.
I
by
didn't
having
think
a
I was
higher
going to
one
win
by
that
one.
because I rolled
Right?
a 4.
You're the
Yeah.
you're the jerk who, like, the person to the left goes like $4 and you bet $4.01. He just- so good. All right, so you have so Roderick changes his mind here. He's still a little bit upset, but he does hear you out, and he's like, "Damn it all!"
I don't wish to waste
would you have
your
us do?
time in debating loss.
Right.
I would suggest we seek amends, or at least an acquittal of offence between the two parties. An offering of some description to alleviate the curse.
What would that entail?
We would have to ask him, I suppose.
Say for certain, but I do have some understanding. Perhaps an apology would go a long way. It seems a humble and simple thing, but we know how hard fought it can be to find an apology.
My priest is dead.
I think Gareth is going to speak up here.
Yeah, right.
Because there are two things that stick out for Gareth. One is his cruelty is pretty high.
Okay, yeah.
Relative to the rest. But the other is that he is a social climber, and if you want to be a social climber, you have to be invested in the social thing you're climbing.
Can't climb a ladder unless your nose is brown.
Yeah. And Gareth is going to be kind of try and cut in a little bit on this argument and not like refute it,
You can.
but just a little change it. He goes,
It's a squire.
lord,
You're totally can.
My lord, this young squire speaks some small wisdoms. Mayhap you have trod on the dog's tail. I don't apologize to my dog when I accidentally kick it, but I do feed it an extra scrap from the table, mayhap.
How much money will this cost me?
I've yet to see what sort of hovel this sorcerer lives in, so possibly not much.
Right. So Roderick is doing the thing where, you have convinced him he's going to be merciful. He's not going to be happy about it, and so he's like, he just checkbook open.
Yeah.
Like
How old was the oak?
Keith knows the answer to that.
Yeah, I'll do you guess? It seems to me that the age of the tree is comparable to any other asset of the land. Pay him for the price of the oak.
It was an ancient oak, and money, whilst it does go a long way, is perhaps not a proportionate ideal for a man such as the sorcerer.
Certainly. Perhaps he would accept something else in exchange.
Perhaps. If my lord would sign the apology, and I might take it, I may offer a reparation that the druid may find suitable. And if not, then let us make the offer of money. But to start with money would perhaps be a loss for both parties.
Indeed.
Fine. Pay the price. Whatever it is. And he's like, he comes back. Or like, he's probably, unless there's like last parting words, he's going to come back with an apology. He doesn't want to know what the price is.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so we speak for you in this manner then, my lord.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent.
So, smash cut.
We'll handle the matter with care.
Smash cut to scribbling, scroll rolling up, seal down, leather gloves on, handshake, pass through the grate, letter to you, sealed, apology. All right. Very well. Make haste, solstice draws near, and this curse should not spread through the rest of Salisbury.
That's good.
All right. And everyone,
Road east, I take it.
Yeah. One more parting words before you go. Take care of yourselves. Be afraid. Those who take sick, they do not know what they say in their fevers.
If someone said something to you, then
That would probably require a courtesy roll or something to get him to open up.
sure, yeah.
And Keith would kind of almost double down on it and earnestly ask, what is it that troubles you, my lord?
yeah.
All right.
What's
I
the
would
real
like.
hack?
I would like to.
Courtesy. I think it's the courtesy test. You can give him. Can you? Okay. Real quick, Jim. I think Charlie is helping you.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah.
just get +5 to this courtesy test.
All right. That brings me to 11. I would like to call upon my loyalty to the.
You're passioning it. Okay.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, my loyalty's
This is
17.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Here
You're
we
known
go.
for your
Let's
loyalty.
Not.
You just critted your loyalty.
Oh well. Okay. Oh, thank God. Yes.
No, that's
That's
amazing.
great. Okay. All right.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't crit it. No, wait, you still critted it. You still critted it because you got a +5 to it, and so technically it's 20 over 20, and so you still.
That
would've
was a
critted anyways.
roller coaster.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. All right. I'm good. Okay. All right. I was trying to
check it.
All right.
Check it for sure.
Pendragon has
Check
a
with
lot
it.
of that.
No.
Oh, you did.
If you crit it, right. All right. No, it's not just that. Yes, it's a crit. Yes, you get what you want. Yes, I think your loyalty automatically goes up by 1 when you crit it.
Okay. All right.
I don't think you check it. I think it literally goes up.
What goes up? Okay.
Yeah. So you're the superest of Super Saiyans right now. So you
Oh, sure.
implore
He's
the
like,
Lord.
he's like 18 loyalty to Roderick here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'll check it after the game, but I'm pretty sure it goes up by 1 now immediately. So the Earl's like, yeah. Okay. Boy, this is not it's not my story, but just what my wife was saying. She was talking about fevered dreams of seeing double, of seeing the moon and darkness and a lake.
Lake.
What sort of lake?
Yet she hated water. I had to damn near hold her down to have her drink something. Something she said the water is poison.
Serum's
Don't
water.
know what it means. Yeah. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Apparently it makes you like hydrophobic. Or aquaphobic, I guess, because it's not just any water.
Gotcha. That's the mention of a lake. I think that Erwin's going to try to meet Gareth's glance.
Yeah, right? You're like that.
Yeah, try to catch his eye.
Yeah, is that lake where the sword comes from?
Right.
Gareth is looking at a lot of things that aren't Erwin's eyes. like pointedly just, you're like, trying to, and I'm like,
Right.
Lake?
Right.
Oh, yes, we have
Well, it
lakes.
hasn't-
Lakes
yeah.
are a thing.
England,
hasn't been
very
that-
wet. Lots of lakes.
that long since we got back, right? Since the raid into Franklin?
No, not long.
No, not long.
As-
All
Real
right.
quick, I have to shout out Grant. Grant has been subscribed for like 26 months.
26
Boom.
months.
What a god.
Steadfast
Oh.
and loyal.
That is on
And Kelso
purpose,
as well.
Grant.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Very nice, y'all.
I love it.
Yeah, so if he can't meet, he'll just try to steal a glance to Gareth and maybe notice that Gareth's not returning the favor. We will handle the matter with care and keep an ear out for any more strange talk.
It is said that the Fae folk talk through fever dreams sometimes,
It's
as
true.
much to warn as to meddle.
Good.
Eric, can I make a roll to determine if Keith recognizes any of these as potential portents or signs using my fairy folk?
Absolutely. And because you are familiar with this druid sect in particular, I'll give you a +5 to it.
Nice.
All right, fairy lore +5.
Huzzah! Cool. Right. So yours particularly asking if any of these signs are portents. Yes. So this is beginning to take shape of something of a master druid, a stories that master druids share. So you're not privy to the specifics of the portents but being afraid of water, and like this lake, and I think the two moons specifically describes. Yes. This is involving a ley line and the bleeding of worlds. That's all you really know, is that some sort of ancient art and another world is coming. And that's powerful. But that's
a
only
lot.
if you believe in that stuff.
Oh, that's spicy meatball.
Yeah, so
That lines up with solstice, because obviously that's sort of like the times where the like a Samhain, when the world's thinnest between the places, that kind of thing.
And you can summon from the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
surely those were tales of the peasants, yes? We shouldn't concern ourselves with two moons and magic lakes.
Now, when
Tries to reassure himself.
Yeah.
don't be so dismissive. This is not merely tales from small peasants. It's also the uncouth murmuring of Saxons, as we found out 2 years ago.
Mm. Indeed. Well, the land is old and carries with it its own ways. Mm. We will attempt to make amends with the bard and be careful.
Godspeed. Cool. It's cold as hell. There's a foot of snow that lies on the ground, so the roads aren't clear, obviously. I mean, so you all are going to need some horsemanship tests to get through here. The idea here is that the reason why it's horsemanship is because you're literally relying on galloping your horses through the night in the snow, and that's definitely horsemanship.
Oh yeah. So normally this isn't a bad trip. From if like he were going from here to Duplain or Duplain.
Yeah. Look at this. You're all a success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're knights.
Because you all succeeded on this. Each of you should acquire 10 glory for being able to adeptly control your horses riding through night. Like you're the postman and nothing can stop you. Right?
And this is technically still in 488.
Yes, it's still
kilometers
48
net.
technically. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could write it in 49. No one would care, but
I'd
right.
care, Eric.
Sure. And the most important part of this all is that what this looks like is not only we see you jumping over the little like snow mounds and stuff and the branches and things like that. Your horses are being taken care of, and they're also trusting you entirely. Knowing this is good, because if you would have failed this, your horses would have had an additional 2 frailty next winter. So good job on y'all of you. So it's not a question of you make it; it's a question of if you make it and your horses are exhausted from it. Right.
Yeah.
It's a big reason of going in winter is really bad. It's also just extremely bad for your horses.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So then, so we have a scene of just a moment of you all are riding. The sounds of wolves howl in the distance as you're running off into the woods past the signs of the manor for Pitten, past Buckholt, and then that's when you see as you kind of are coming around a bend. Kind of near the Harewood and going over a hill. The hill is creating a little sort of like yellowy red halo around the hill where Broughton should be, and that means Broughton's on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's ride.
Sword out, spurs to the flanks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. To describe Broughton lightly is that it's a shit show. People are like the small town of maybe a couple hundred people. It is almost entirely active right now. No one is obviously, like, there's no sign of combat or anything like that. However, as you kind of turn around, you see there is sort of a giant bonfire in the middle of town. Only that's not a bonfire; that's the barn. Their barn is alight, and it looks like people are throwing water at it or throwing their pots and stuff at the fire to put it out. From the distance, right?
Okay. Do we see anyone who looks like an alderman or someone in charge around here? Any knights or?
Nobody's leading this. It literally looks like it just looks like a mob.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody is dressed in winter garb. People are kind of moaning or maybe mumbling something. But you'd see that there's a sort of concerted effort of throwing things at this fire.
Like adding fuel to it or trying to put it out?
I mean, I sure get. You don't. It's unclear.
Hard to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pots and things are breaking against the side of the barn as they're getting chucked at it, and it's on fire.
As soon as Gareth sees that this isn't a Saxon or
it's no raid,
Silchester raid, he slows down a bit and puts the sword away. It's like,
what is going on here? They're not trying to put it out. They're not organizing any way.
The first thing you see outside of town as you're coming into town, the well has been sealed or plugged.
Okay. So
there's peasants around.
well.
Yeah, there's peasants around. If you want to like grab one and be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, literally grab one.
Yeah.
As Owen makes that grab, can I try and tell which way the wind's blowing to see if it's likely that the wind is about to blow this fire all the way through town, or?
No. Yes, you don't have to make a check here though. The wind is certainly blowing away from town.
Okay.
Yeah. Thankfully, the barn is kind of, there's the stockades and things around it, so it's also kind of isolated itself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like they picked it on purpose.
Yes. What is it? He'll sort of like circle the horse around and cut him off from where he is. What is going on here? Why is your barn on fire?
Cool. So while this is going on, you can see scenes of not just people trying to throw things in there, but like some people are like just closing their doors immediately and like trying to lock them if they have them.
Okay.
Right. So you try to grab one and they're like, the water is cursed.
And the water
cursed. And he's like sweating. This guy is like probably wearing just like a long sleeve shirt and maybe like a thin little shawl. He's gonna freeze to death if he doesn't.
Right, it's like the middle of the night, right?
Yeah, it's
the
middle of the
morning.
night. It's the middle of the night. It's like blizzard conditions, and these people are out, just like in like hardly anything, like sweating and throwing these things at this fire feverishly. That's what I'm telling you. It's not a good scene.
Yeah, it's not a good. All right, get inside and stop feeding this fire. And I think we should try to disperse them.
I need you to make a Constitution check for me too.
Okay. Yes, because all the typhoid.
So much
as he coughs on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. potency.
All right. Can I get a bonus because I'm on my horse?
Yeah, that makes sense. You're actually
Your
higher up
horse.
than him. Yeah, you're higher up from him.
I'm higher than he is.
Yeah, you are. You're higher up, so you get a +5. You have a higher
Wind's
up.
blowing away.
Just like combat.
I'll take that +5. Any bit helps. There we go.
Hey, okay, you're fine.
Gareth likes the idea of bullying some peasants here. He doesn't understand what he sees, and Gareth is a man who doesn't not do something when he doesn't understand it. He just chooses what he's going to do from the very limited list of things he's familiar with. Yeah. Bullying peasants is high on that list. So
we got to burn the water.
Yeah,
that's what they say. That's literally what they say.
That's
get inside. Yeah.
Gareth is going to just use his horse to like turn his horse to keep hitting these peasants with the butt of his horse, right? Yeah. And like just and not really.
You're literally crowd controlling them.
Yeah.
Like this is what a policeman would do with a horse.
Yeah. Treat them like that, or like you'd get.
They're not resisting. Yeah, you can bully the hell out of them.
Yeah, I think get inside.
Are you doing it excessively? Like, is this like a cruelty? Or is this just...
I did mention earlier, didn't I? Let's see how much I enjoy it.
You did use the word bully some peasants. Or
you did use that.
I mean, a kind phrase.
Right. How dare you all use my own words against me?
Okay, fumbled cruelty.
Hey.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. That is interesting, because that means that not only is this not cruel... I'm not being a dick right now, which is rare.
People are clearly sick. Yeah.
Yeah, they're clearly super sick.
Sweating.
They're sick and terrified, and they're afraid that the water is making them sick. So they're literally disposing of all water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what this is? You know what this is for Gareth is he's a new father, and he had his first his kid coughed a couple times. And Gareth has been thinking about that for the last 6 months. And he sees someone cradling a child and the child coughs and he's like, oh, I need to protect these people.
Oh, right. Oh, that's so good.
I think Keith would like to backtrack along the road if possible and take his lance, and he's going to use it to make some sort of warning on the road to attempt to begin quarantining Broughton. Keep people from coming through the town.
Okay.
Don't want to add more people in.
Fair.
Yeah. The thing to that though is that it is the middle of winter. Who would see your lance if it's not too late? But you could try something.
But it's more for the next day. But also
he
wants to move back up to that hill where we saw down onto Broughton to get a better idea of the further reaches of this small settlement, to get the eye of the land, because this isn't somewhere he's been before. So he can't understand how to control the problem until he actually takes it in. Because before we were just like, oh, fire, go down and see what the hell's going on. Right. So he's going to kind of pull back out and get a better... So because he can see that Owen and... Colin's character's name is escaping my brain. Kind of on the ground doing stuff. So he's going to backtrack up and try and get a better idea of how we can control it.
Sure. Let me ask a question here to Jim and Colin. Because I imagine you're going to... suppose you do that, but as a squire, you kind of have to defer to them. So is this something that you're going to suggest, or is this something you're going to do on your own, Charlie? You're totally allowed to.
He does this on his own. He kind of sees the two, and he's like, oh, I have to go and do something, but I can't see the problem fully. So he just kind of kicks his horse's flank and just charges up and seemingly away, which is probably not going to reflect well, but he's not thinking that way.
I think it might take a minute for Erwin. If Erwin goes and is like, all right, let's disperse them, get them back inside, and then Gareth gently helps. Then it might be a while before we notice that where's Keith?
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have that moment of you all doing that stuff, and then we see Keith, cut to Keith surveying the area, right? So there's no role to do you set up the proper medical perimeter? The question here is I guess it's just an awareness test of taking things in.
Let me have a look. Skills awareness. Oop.
Pass. Feel free to ask me a couple questions here. What are you most interested in knowing?
So I see on the map that Broughton is close to that river.
Yeah. It's the river test.
Firstly, should the fire spread, is there the opportunity to perhaps use that river to, like, not intentionally entirely flood the town, but perhaps to create some sort of, water barrier?
Yeah,
because if it's canaled or anything.
It's definitely not canaled. There's probably a small bridge over it at some point.
Okay.
But no, there's. Yes, you could use the river, but A, it's frozen.
It's
B,
okay.
B, a concerted effort of getting all these peasants in line to like do a bucket brigade kind of situation also would be dangerous in the middle of winter.
I wasn't sure if there was any
right.
clear demi irrigation going on or anything.
Oh yeah. There's irrigation outside of the town. This place is super spread out.
Okay. It's kind of.
But yeah, no, this town is This town is absolutely in danger of burning continuously from their actions. Yes, this was a very reckless thing the peasants did. But also, there's no sign of the
it's not
lord
currently spreading
of this manor or anything.
Okay.
We didn't talk about that, but yes, I mean there is a manor on the hill, but it looks.
There's been no response.
No
from
response.
The house. That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Okay. And we already know that the druid came from here, so the grove is somewhere nearby, allegedly.
You all actually, as you're trying to doing this stuff, because you pass this awareness test, you can give yourself a +5 to this recognize roll, but the rest of you can roll a recognize. Jim and Colin. Colin,
Sure.
you also get a +5 recognize roll for reasons I'll explain later.
Okay.
So yeah, it is weird. Do we even know who the lord of this place is?
That's what we're rolling to find out.
Gotcha.
Is that all of us, or just Jim and?
No, it's all of you.
Not
And
it.
you get a +5,
That is
Charlie.
a fail.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Fail.
Awesome. Yeah, you all don't know who runs Broughton. Again, Broughton's the middle of nowhere.
Right. It's
Do
not
I
on the born,
see
then why don't
any
we don't care?
signs
And maybe
Of
you
a
do know it, you
druid-
just don't remember at the moment.
Sure.
of a druidic grove, like a grouping of trees?
The
on a
grove.
hill, which is what it would usually be.
Well, you would probably remember the stories of maybe, or even you were here as a very small child. During when when your dad might have taken you here at some point. You know that it's outside of Broughton. It's somewhere in the Harewood.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not in danger or anything like that. You vaguely remember a path to it. If you wanted to lead the rest of the group to a path where you think this would be,
Later.
that's totally possible. Yeah.
Okay. So I think having kind of better assessed the situation, Keith will come back down into town.
Yeah.
And he's gonna ride towards the houses closest to the river. Seeing as these people fear the river and fear water,
Yeah.
he's afraid of what the people in these houses might be doing. So he's gonna go and check on them because people near the fire are doing what they're doing near the fire.
They
go check on them.
Yeah. You can hear the sounds as you clock by in the snow. They have locked and sealed themselves in. They're terrified of the snow melting and getting into their house.
Wow. So I mean, so many questions. Oh god. All right.
Yeah.
Because when we passed Pitten,
They're just praying, just constantly praying. But something that's very clear here from praying is that they are all old worshippers of the druid faiths here.
Pure pagan, not British Christian.
Yeah, no, definitely pagan.
Okay.
This place being so close to the grove that this is their old ways.
So there's no lord. There's no knight has come out to take charge. Not even men at arms or anyone from the manor. So probably I would bet whoever's here probably left and fled at the first sign of typhoid, right?
Or died.
Or died.
Yeah,
That's true. So checking out the manor is definitely next on my priority. But I'm just sort of looking at the map. Pitten we didn't detect any signs of trouble or outbreak at Pitten.
No.
So this got from Sarum to Broughton in the snow and winter. Same outbreak of typhoid within 2-3 days of each other?
Yeah.
Well, bear in mind the bard came from here to there.
Yeah. So so is. All right,
You're not an epidemiologist, Jim.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
I'm just trying to he's.
Yeah.
This is This is me trying to figure this out. All right.
Gareth is like,
don't worry about it much. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's not really much you can do to this town. Like, you're 3 knights, and you're dealing with 100 of like literal people who are paranoid and in a mob. You know what I mean?
I would like to do.
There's not much to do
before Gareth jumps in. Is I think that Keith would like to offer up a prayer in this moment. Fearing that the curse having been cast, when you call on bad things, you bring bad things to yourself as well, and fearing the duality of the moon, I think Keith is going to offer up one of the oldest prayers he recalls, one that he heard kind of as a child, in the hope of some restoration and some peace, because it's clearly bad spirits that have been woken and stirred, and strange things that have been called, and that's why the sickness is here.
Let's find Keith.
Test your spirituality.
That's on
That's trait. Yeah.
Okay.
In this moment.
19.
You hear nothing. You feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Whatever master of the land is not listening. You feel the void where the tree should be.
Mm-hmm.
To you, that's what it feels like. That's why it feels empty.
Gareth is sitting on his horse now that people are like kind of broken up and like
we can't save this. We can't save this barn.
Yeah.
No, you're not saving the barn. Barn's dead.
Gareth is like standing in his stirrups, backlit by this burning barn.
Yeah.
And is going to try and address the peasants generally.
Sure.
And he says, "Peasants of Broughton, I am a knight, Salisbury. I serve the Earl Roderick with his authority, and he, the authority of the King Pendragon, and that king, the authority of God himself. So I speak to you now with a man's voice, but the confidence of God himself. Go to your houses and calm down until this has been sorted out."
Shouldn't have done that. Test. Test. What would this be? Because they are angry at the Earl of Salisbury for cutting down the tree, and so by you coming here being like that doesn't, you know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what you just did. You're
I feel
like
if
bees.
this is Song of Ice and Fire, I'd be like command warfare, but I don't know what that is in this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a battle charisma kind of thing. Orate, I guess. Test orate, right? Test orate at -5 because they do not want to hear this.
Okay, so that's a -2.
Okay, so you just immediately fail.
Yes. There's just silence. Someone's like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, right. Someone throws a pot at you. It's just a bowl. It's not even full of anything. It's just a bowl.
Yeah. Did I hear this? Is this?
Yeah.
The
Earl's doomed us.
Yeah.
It's the Earl. It's his fault.
More care than the last time.
Luid is good. Luid's alive. And you cut down the tree.
No, I didn't. I was at home. Warm.
You speak for him. You speak for God. Another
God
bowl
wasn't
goes
here
over your
either.
head.
He was. God was probably at home too, warmer than I.
How snarky you are in this moment of this mob being mad at you.
Go find Keith.
It's because Gareth is thinking of them
reckless.
like scared. Oh yeah, that's fair.
As an animal.
Yeah. He's like they're scared parents. This is how I was when my kid coughed. Reckless, huh?
I'm getting some
surprised
big,
Reckless is
naked
not
gun
higher.
vibes.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, yeah, this is rough. Not much you can do.
No. Let's find Keith and see where they
yeah,
see
sorry.
who's in charge. Well, if you're wandering around. Keith's over by the side near the Test River, and so what will he? back. Well done. Good job.
No test required. Keith, you're while you're kind of praying, it's almost like by intuition as you're also kind of scouting this this riverbed here to find like the water and stuff near these little houses by the river. You see the path to the grove. The reason why it's so apparent to you is that it has changed over the decade that you haven't been here. There is marking the way is a cow skull, or a horse skull, marked in with a yellow strip on its forehead. That was not there before.
So we get to Keith, or is this before we arrive?
This is right before you arrive. Keith spots this as you two, and then you hear the galloping of your horses as your two companions join you, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, the Wanderer. Normally I'm very happy to not have my squire around, but you seem more capable than Beryl, so try to stay close.
It's not much we can do for Broughton, I'm afraid. Have you found anything? Any sign of the Lord of the Manor here, or our bard?
I saw no sign of the Lord, but this is the path to the grove.
Horse skull. And is there we can see the skull, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like just on a post or something?
Assuming Keith points it out to you, but yeah, you can see it by the river on the other side, like going into the Harewood. There's like two of them kind of like flanking a small little trail into the woods. Again, it's really dark and the snow's coming down, so it's not guaranteed that you can see. I also assume that you all have torches at this moment.
Yeah, we'd have to have something. Yeah. Okay. All right, then. So are we gonna have to cross the frozen test?
Yes.
All right.
But that's not a test.
Gotcha. All right. Because I imagine it's pretty frozen solid.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I'd like to, if Keith, you pointed out to us.
It's a cool for perspective. It's like a cool -5. See?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So I would imagine we're probably not in our, like, what are we?
Oh,
are we armored? I would imagine we're not in. I don't know.
We would have a travel cloak over whatever we're wearing, right? That's a thing.
Probably the fair.
The Earl summoned you. That's probably a bad thing. You probably were wearing something.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you're wearing leather,
from
not your chainmail.
Sure,
you could be
I
wearing
can't
your
imagine.
Chainmail if you wanted to. I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah. Chainmail.
I probably not I maybe not. I don't. Yeah, he can't call us for anything good.
You know what? No helmet. That thing would be so cold.
It'd be so cold.
It'd be so cold.
Yeah, no helmet.
Yeah.
And I imagine chainmail's between layers of fabric anyway, so it's
exactly.
insulated.
Yeah, you got your gambeson and then your chainmail. Your chainmail is mostly for your legs when you're riding a horse, so you don't get shot.
Yeah. All right, then. I'll dismount and cross and prepare to enter the wood.
Your horses will be useless in these dark woods.
Yeah,
I don't want to hitch them up anywhere on this side of the river, though.
Right, so you're just going to walk them. You're just going to walk them. Yeah.
Peasants be crazy this side of the river.
This is for real, though.
Owen, if we see a man or goat, we just don't follow it up any hills this time.
That goat was...
Right. You say that as you enter the dark canopied forest,
flanked with fucking skulls.
Yeah.
I'd like
further. Yeah.
What is the skull? So it's a horse skull with like a fabric or a paint stripe.
Yellow paint, or like it's kind of more like yellow brown. That's
gotcha.
It's not
like ochre.
Yeah, kind of like a dye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a herbal mix.
All right.
I think that doesn't immediately say anything to Keith, other than that's weird. That wasn't here like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this, Keith?
Folklore or fairy lore?
People use all kinds of signs. It's possibly a warning. I'm gonna go fairy lore because I'm better at
for sure.
Did you say before, as in you've been to this place before?
Long time ago when I was a much younger boy. and he's staring down, and I think it's the hollows of the eyes that really catch him, and there's something really eerie. Is like we're in the snow, we've got our lights, there's a fire kicking off behind us, and so I think maybe he's more distracted and just searching and like reaching, maybe overreaching for answers.
Right. So we have 2 rolls. Erwin rolled first, and then Charlie rolled and failed. But Erwin rolled and succeeded. So Erwin, you're getting mad Merlin vibes.
I think we might find goats here.
This is what's curious about this is that you're not getting the vibe of the goat, but you're getting the vibe of like, are you in the same world that you were in when you walked into these woods?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so instead of making cryptic references, he'll say something more along the lines of, "We might be passing into our shared dream, Gareth.
Yeah.
Do you not feel it in the air?"
I try not to.
I think that you should open yourself to it, Gareth. It's not always so bad.
Last time I got hit by a giant.
Lived.
I did live.
I'll take point.
What dream is it that you share?
From my recollection, a dream of Merlin. Our earls and our kings, a great wizard. But I don't think that the rest of the details matter that much.
There was a goat and a hill with a giant on it. Giant was scurrilous, but our swords were sharp. I wrote a poem about it.
You believe
Well,
you walked
go on.
between the worlds in this dream?
Not
It wasn't a dream. It's very real. Owen says dream. I don't. Fine, it was a dream, Owen.
He looks back at Gareth. He's like, "The dream was your idea, Gareth. We rode out on the lake, and there, a hand with a sword, Excalibur."
Yes, that was
perfect.
the dream. It's like,
That was look.
Good. And it's at that moment when you have been kind of like walking. I imagine it's sort of like the walk and talk through the woods as we like see like the silhouette of the trees as you were doing this.
And that's where you walk and talk.
Yeah. Right. Well, oh my God. Yeah. Can you imagine going through these woods with this overgrown path and the snow and all these? Yeah. You're just taking forever. You're slogging through this thing, right? In the meantime, like up in the trees, kind of like above you, maybe 20 feet or so, you all are seeing sort of like bone and twig little like totems or like with little like bird skulls on them. Also like little strips or ribbings of yellow around here. They all look pretty new. I think I'm gonna require a valor test from everyone here. If anything, this is more for you to like control your horses are reading your body language here for a moment. So a fair to this means you need to take control of your horse.
Oh,
I'm good.
sweet.
Look at that.
Look
Look
at
at all
that.
those points.
Get these ones out of the way.
Yeah, good. All right. So nobody is showing any sort of sign of concern or fear, and your horses are fine with that. But as you're kind of walking them through these creepy woods.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there a safe place to hitch them up if we need to?
Yeah. I was actually just going to mention that there's up ahead there a couple of these totems with these bird skulls are kind of flanking a little clearing. Before like the road kind of goes up and you can see it kind of splits. This isn't like the end of the terminus of the grove where the tree would be. But this is similarly for like walking and kind of keeping your horses there.
Okay.
However, in the darkness, as like you are moving there, you hear the sounds of a voice nearby. It's some coming from the woods somewhere. A man's voice. In fact, Colin. Gareth, you recognize his voice immediately and says, "Have you come to pay your respects, brother?"
Whose voice is this?
Bros. Bros is the manor and household knight of Broughton.
Nice.
Oh no, Eric!
Oh yes.
Yeah, Gareth, Gareth is not always a very subtle guy. Bras? Pay respects. Possibly. It depends how well you're doing. Where are you? Come out.
No answer.
This is not hospitality, not as it's been taught in Winterbourne Gunnet, where I know you lived for a long time.
Roderick is a liar, brother.
Roderick is our lord, brother.
He has destroyed a way of life. There's no lord worth following. There's only the masters of stone and tree.
A fever has taken you. Clearly, a fever has taken you. Come out, Bras, and we shall treat you with herbs, possibly.
Yeah. From the dark of the other side of this little shallow where or hollow where you're bringing your horses, comes out a trio of silhouettes. In the middle is Bras, and Bras is wearing his armor with sort of like a yellow cloak over him right now. His also not wearing a helmet because it's cold as hell for a helmet. And you can just kind of see the silhouette of, like, it's right at the edge of your torchlight, right? And he does not have a torch.
Are those the colors of Broughton, then?
These are the colors of the old ways and the ways that will be returning. You saved my life in the Battle of Mercard Creek, and I'm offering you the favor. I'm saving yours. Come.
From what?
Roderick's treachery.
Tread carefully, Bras. I don't know what secret wisdoms you think you have. They look like a special kind of madness from where I stand.
Madness? I've never seen my objectives more clear, brother.
Something mad person.
Do you ever want to do you know what happened to our uncle? You have an uncle who disappeared in 485 mysteriously.
Yeah. No one does.
Wrong. Luid does. Luid knows.
Is Luid here with you?
He's up the ways, but that's immaterial. You won't be going any further than this.
My good sir, we come bearing not treachery, but an apology. We come to make right what has happened here. To make amends for the roots that were sundered, for the tree that touched the heavens to the earth.
Who are you?
Squire tends to talk out of place, but well-intentioned.
My name is Keith, son of Michael.
Bras takes a step back. Say that. So then there is more family.
Who all is with you up the path there, Sir Bras?
Men at arms, loyal to me.
And you think the Earl would send us and others against you to strike you down?
Of course, that's what he would do.
Oh,
He would do anything to destroy this way of life.
I can't speak for the Earl on matters of faith, but Squire Keith speaks true. We come bearing an apology and are willing and speak for the Earl in his efforts to make amends.
Cool.
And no,
Gareth
they
is
just got the
this
torch,
is your- yeah.
nothing else out. Yeah.
Gareth is stewing right now.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's here to do, but like he's not a fan of Bras right now. There's some fucking shit going on.
Yes, very much so. All right. So Bras has no interest in an apology. Braz thinks that time is over, and this is more lies by the Earl.
Do you speak for the druid?
I speak for myself.
We are here to treat with Luid, the druid.
At this time, it is not possible.
Is he alive?
Very much so.
Well, by all means, continue with the cryptic answers, Braz. Delay us as long as you like. We are here to resolve the matter. Your obfuscation does not have us leaving quicker than we would if we could simply go about our way.
He takes off his cloak, and he gives it to one of his men-at-arms next to him, who kind of puts it to the side. And he steps forward into the clearing. You can see he's wearing his armor. The clinks of the chain goes off. Footstep. If you want to see Luid, you'll have to get through me, brother.
Right. Gareth just immediately dismounts. Immediately reflexively looks at the squire to take his cloak, but Barrel's not there, and no. I don't think Keith is next to him, so he ends up accidentally handing it to no one. It just drops on the ground.
I would say that Keith reaches out a very long arm and will take it before it hits the ground for you.
Well, you've forsaken Roderick and our ways. What oaths would you hold yourself to? Was this to the blood, or was this to something more dire, Braz?
Oh, I believe it's the direst. I know what lot I am in now that I've cast myself in. But if I'm to die, I'll die. I'll die in this land. I'll die for my God. The God that was here before. No, destroying this tree is something I cannot permit. I tried to be a good knight. I tried to listen. I'll even let you speak on my behest. But, and he curls his, you can see he curls his hand, gripping the sword, right? And he says, but I will always be Brass the bastard. I will never be Brass of Cholderton, Brass of Winterbourne Gunnet.
Not with me alive, he won't. Sword is out.
Yeah.
A lot has been said to incite Gareth's passions.
Yeah, we want to do a similarly for Brass here.
Yeah.
So this is going to probably be a one-on-one combat while you all are going to run off.
This is honor, right? This is personal honor.
Totally, it's his.
He has straight up challenged me.
Yeah. So Brass is going to be concerned with Gareth right now. The other, you two are, there's the other men at arms here, but also just getting if you can just quickly get to Luid, and maybe there's some way to talk sense to stop this, is possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be or you can just run in here and help him and cut him down, because who cares? This dude's broke his oaths.
I think Erwin would know Gareth well enough that
I'm not going to step between the two of them.
Yeah. He's not expecting help for this.
But I do think between myself and Keith, or Erwin and Keith has the greater chance. I think Erwin would sense that maybe Keith either knows Luid, if Luid is as old as he says, as they claim. And so just as Sir Gareth and Braz are facing off, come up to Keith, I will deal with the two men-at-arms behind. Hold them as long as I can. Make your way to the bard.
You should not spill blood on this ground.
I will not. I will do my best. And he will just have his he's got those his lance, his spear. Yeah. And he's gonna use that instead of his sword.
Let me take one more liberty, sir.
Yes.
And he's gonna turn to the men at arms and call to them and say, ask Luid if he'll take audience from Keith, son of Albin, and he'll use his father's previous name.
Damn. Give yourself a +10 to courtesy, because that's important.
And he'll dismount to kind of show like, no ill will. I'm not going to charge through you.
Yeah. You all were dismounted. Like you
Oh, we
couldn't,
were
you could
dismounted.
not have
Okay.
ridden your horse through there. You're like carrying your horse like on, leading it by the nose.
Leading it. Yeah. All right.
Courtesy +10.
Courtesy. Is that a skill?
Yes.
Skills. Success.
Okay. Yeah, they I think Bros will answer for them and say, take him away to her. Or to him. I will deal with my brother. And yeah, okay, cool. So he's invoking his love of family here. Bros, looking at you. And that's kind of like the thing about his I know I've tried to be the good son, but I'm always going to be the bastard. And so it's really more like his hatred of family. But what really makes it a love of family here is that it's something his uncle says to him. And
Right.
and he's really calling on his uncle and his uncle's truths here. I know I kind of just offhanded it, but I mentioned that somewhere in Keith's family line and your family line have mixed, Colin.
Interesting.
That's why he said, more families here.
Yeah, no, that I didn't catch that the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
That is I don't
So he knows Bros clearly knows more than you do about your own family history.
a lot of people know a lot of more things.
Yeah,
than Garrett does.
that's totally
just
fair.
as a general rule.
So, I think really though what it looks like is as he like does a couple warm up swings before like coming to you, right? He's like, "Can you believe that we have the same father?" Useless as he like practices a swing.
Bras, you don't need to get on my good side if we're about to fight.
I've waited for this moment too long.
I can honestly say I've never had any ill will towards you. And he's like also like warming up, like you've always been slightly dumber than me, but Bras, this is entirely unnecessary until you talked about me the way you did. And he's set himself.
The years of biting my tongue and smiling at you, half-brother, are over.
Half-brother. Now, Ross, you will be killed today by a full brother. I've never considered you half of anything. You are not a half-brother, and you shall not be half-dead.
One more chance. Join me.
And do what? Overthrow Salisbury? Overthrow Logres?
We're not in Salisbury anymore.
What does that mean? Everyone talks in riddles like now.
Yeah. And we're at that point, he's like, enough! And then he charges you.
Cool.
So we're fighting. What's cool here is that we also are getting minus... Oh, here's a question, though.
Yes.
So you're going to have you have a sword and a shield. You don't have a torch. Right?
Correct.
Cool. So you're fighting with him in the dark.
Okay.
So we're getting -5 because of the lighting.
Okay, so total, I'm still at +5 at least.
Yeah. So same with him.
Yeah.
All right. So sorting. This happens instantaneously. So you crit.
Crit immediately, yep.
And he gets +5 to his sword. Oh, okay. So he gets his shield though. So it's the first blow. First blow goes to you. So do your crit.
And that is crit damage.
Yeah, crit damage. That's gonna be -16. Oh, Bros.
I always forget which page the damage is on. All right, there we go.
It's on the opening page.
Yeah, I got it. Ooh,
that's 5 points of damage.
That's not a great roll.
Not a great roll on you at all.
That's a terrible roll. Oh,
Right.
no.
So 5 points of damage gets through. So I think what this looks like, that's not even enough to knock him over. Oh wait, no, that's you don't roll against 21 to stand up, right? No. If the actual damage, yeah, actually, we can do this every single time.
Every single time.
I think it's
I
dexterity.
now have the book. That's like a book that I can
Ooh,
look at.
okay.
Ooh.
No, he falls down.
I think I like sidestep him or something,
Yeah.
right? Like this is a callback to when we used to train in our youth.
Yeah.
He came at me in the old way, and I diverted him in the old way.
Oh, I like that a lot.
No words, no gloating. All the falling
So-
on the ground is gloat enough.
Do you let him stand up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the honorable thing to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next round. Uh, 22.
Seven.
I hate you as he swings down at you. And critical damage.
So I get my armor for this.
You do.
That's good.
40.
Every time.
I know. You roll like 7.
It's 40 minus 16. I think I'm down.
You're down?
Minus
16? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he runs his sword through you.
Okay.
And now you fall to your knees. Right?
Yeah.
He gets
Right.
close, like you're like there. Are you unconscious or are you just major wound?
In one go, I'd have to test.
No, your unconscious is a number though.
Oh yeah. Oh, my unconscious is 7, and I'm at like negative 12 right now.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Hold on. No, I think I'm good.
Minus
if I'm-
16. Yeah, that's 24 points of damage coming through you.
Oh, okay. All right, so I have 4 hit points. So I that's still lower than unconscious though.
But you are still, yeah. So as you're falling unconscious, you hear like your half brother says to you, "Welcome to Carcosa." Just fall over.
Oh no.
So you two, you see this happen.
All right, so yeah, I was gonna say, where are we? We see this happen.
Unless,
what does?
yeah, this fight happened pretty quick.
Yeah. What does? I mean, is Bras coming after us now?
No,
Okay. What's he gonna? What is he doing with Gareth? Is
nothing.
he like?
He's leaving him there.
I'm gonna go over to Gareth, and
He'll let you. Yeah, he'll let you go over to him. Like his beef isn't with you.
Right. And I'll take the torch over there and see just how bad it is and whether or not it's possible to. Yeah.
Go, son of Michael. He tells you, Charlie, the Keith. Go talk to Luid.
I think for the first time on this whole trip, Keith is gonna look to Erwin for a nod that he has Gareth kind of in care. He doesn't think there's much that can be done. It's dark, it's hard to tell, but the man is on the ground and he heard that blade into flesh sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very wet.
Yeah. I'll nod to Keith. Yeah. Go. I will attend to Gareth.
Yeah. You have the first aid him.
Yeah. With my.
Keith will leave his horse with Gareth and Erwin's and wander up the dark path.
Nice.
So, all right.
Cool.
Perhaps he'll set his torch into the snow so Erwin can better see, and he'll walk the dark path by moon
Yeah.
and starlight.
Mhm.
His eyes
Yeah. By the light of 2 moons.
Yeah.
Right.
Sweet. All right. I would call upon my loyalty to Gareth, but it's a 9. And I think after the events of Franklin's have sort of fundamentally maybe changed their relationship somehow. He does not want to see Gareth die here in the snow. That would be bad. But all right, he's going to do what he can do.
Nope, that's a fail.
Yeah. So it's bad. Yeah. He's got
it's bad.
4 hit points, four wounds left.
Yep.
Gareth, and he's barely alive. I'm just going to do what I can. If it looks like he's in pain,
He's unconscious.
Oh yes, that's right. Do I even know he's alive?
Yeah, you know he's alive. You're enough
Okay.
of a knight to know with the first day that you know
Yeah.
that he's alive.
Sure.
You know that he would need surgery.
Yeah.
Surgery.
Man, I think the best thing, I don't want to put him up on a horse in case it makes it worse. I think I'm going to leave him where he is. That seems like probably the best.
Yeah. You can implore
pack
Bros to help, being like, what the hell are you doing? You're his brother. You could do something like that.
I mean,
Bros is kind of just like standing there. He's cleaned off his sword and is like sheathing his sword.
Well, that's another matter. If he's just standing there, I thought he walked off.
He almost feels at ease. This happened. Oh no, he's standing here. Like he feels victorious here.
You're not going to let your brother bleed out in the snow over a family spat.
Spat. What do you know of spats? Do you know how far this treachery goes back?
I do not. No, I confess that I know very little of what it is you refer to. But I do know that Gareth does not deserve to die in whatever feud you have with the Earl. Surely some part of you, some memory that you can summon to at least show your brother some care and concern.
I gave him the greatest care in the world, atonement for our family's sins, for our transgressions, our wrongs.
What sins? What wrongs? He's trying to figure out.
He doesn't say, except for there was a battle that happened long ago. This is at the Battle of it's not in that sheet. It's the first battle in the history of the game.
Right. Yeah.
With your grandfathers.
Yeah, the one our grandfathers are at. Yeah.
Right.
I just don't remember the name of it. I want to look it up.
Sure. Yeah.
Chester, I think.
But it comes from there.
Okay.
That is the root. And now it's been taken. Now it is returned.
See,
Garrett's death closes the cycle.
I confess to know nothing. Perhaps.
Yeah, it sounds like nonsense. Man.
Yeah, it just sounds crazy. And he might even offer Braz some water. Right? Like. Yeah. Yeah. He tried to give some to Gareth or clean the wound to just take. You need a drink. You just fought.
Yeah. Braz drinks some water.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not afraid of it or anything.
All right. Erwin, he's that confused. He's lost his identity. Erwin just feels as if he's in a dream. He's seen Gareth at swordplay before, and for it to be over so quickly, he's still just processing what happened. Then let us speak with the druids then.
My stepsister has their own, or stepbrother has their own cycle to close. Just wait here with me.
Fine. And he'll wait.
Right. Cool.
Cut to Gareth is comfortable.
Right. Cut to the journey into darkness, Charlie, as you the trees bend and almost turn from tree to stone. The path of snow turns to almost like a black cobblestone. Wet, and you kind of lead into a garden, almost like a city garden, something we would think of more in the terms of like a maybe like a London, like a modern or turn of the century.
Like a park.
Yeah, like a park, like a proper park. And in this park, it's completely like empty except for just like sort of the masonry and stuff. Is Luid near a stump of an old tree.
So Keith will enter the grove kind of up
Yeah.
to the point, but then will take a knee down before the tree in a sign of respect. His kind of cloak pushed back.
The path between the worlds is thinnest here. Do you feel it?
I felt only the absence when I prayed.
You're praying to the wrong king. And
Which king should I be praying?
He turns around to you, and he just looks like a very, very, very disheveled, sad old man. The older king, before the times of Brutus and his lot that came down here, before the time of giants. The oldest stories passed down to me. It was said your family was forbidden from coming here until the great oak fell. How poetic that is that the son of Michael returns at that time. You're here to gloat. You've bested my knight.
It was not bested by I. I simply walked the path under my name.
Very well. What do you offer?
I thought I had something to offer, but first, I need to understand. Are you to open a rift between the worlds in this thin place?
Been given no choice. They took down our tree. Intentionally. To build what? A church to their god? Another wing to the cathedral? Feasting hall?
I do not know what became of the tree. When I was 5, I asked my father, why do I grow so tall? All the other children are still so tiny. He told me of the acorn and how it grows, and how it continues to grow and reach for the sky. But how that tree can fall and tumble in a storm, to rot, to man with blade. That maybe I too would follow one of those fates. But the thing is, there are always more acorns that tumble down when the winds blow. Always more trees that can grow and bind again the earth with the sky. Even if I were to fall to rot, to storm, to man with a blade, there will be more. And it is my duty, no matter which king sits on the throne, to protect the path. The path between this place and there.
It's too late, he says. He's lying, but he just feels defeated. And that there's no... What other tree could there be? This was the only one for hundreds of years. My great-grandfathers and their great-grandfathers for as long as memory.
I felt that way when my father fell in Frankland. What other tree could there be for our house? And they gave me his sword, and I asked what I was to do with it. They told me it was my duty, my responsibility, my honor to continue to try and grow.
Test your mercy.
Okay.
And have a
Traits. Can I use my passion thing?
absolutely.
Cool. So that I roll it right, and then it'll add 10 if I succeed, and -5 if I fail.
Yeah, which passion are you invoking in this moment?
Mercy.
No.
Wait. Can I use love of family
Yeah, totally.
as this is coming
About
from
your
that?
yeah, it's coming from your the
Yeah.
story of your dad, which is a
Okay.
painful story. Yeah,
So I roll that right.
totally.
Okay.
No, you're melancholic. You failed.
Yep.
So this is too much. So I think what he says to you is, do not use his name here. It hurt me to exile him and exile you too, but he made his choice. He chose to be a knight and give vows to their god, their Christ. And what of you? You seem to walk in the same shoes as your father.
And the cobble have been digging into Keith's knee, so he kind of goes down onto the other one to kind of shift his weight off of that one point. As he feels that weight inside and that uncertainty, not really knowing what his path is. He thought he had a plan coming in here, and the more they talk, the more he realizes the plan was a really bad one. And he falls quiet, and that familiar contemplation kind of sets into the furrow between his brows as he kind of stares, and he stares really hard at that tree stump, trying to pull the right answer out.
Forsake any oaths to those that you hold outside of this grove. Join this order.
This order watches as that village burns. You were not there with them. If I don't stay true to the oaths, there are people that depend on that house and on someone being there, doing the right thing.
Yeah, so this is like super interesting because this is you're being torn between what would you follow? Your liege who completely screwed up and ruined everyone's lives here, and destroyed this tree, or your faith and doing the right thing. He doesn't have much else to say other than like, this is your choice. They've made theirs. The wrongs of Roderick will continue to grow like a rot. It will spread across Salisbury. No magic of mine can stop that. Unless. And he doesn't give you the offer, but yeah, it seems like a way that he would feel more satisfied is if you became a druid instead of a knight. Or something else. Or maybe you can propose something else. But right now, that's what he's saying. You're muted, Jim.
Jim's just doing his thing.
I'm commenting to myself.
Does the blood on the snow satisfy one world or the other?
Neither, I suppose. It's violence. It's our nature.
Another blade wielded by another man in the sacred grove, cutting down one more. If I were to pledge my service here, Would that be my fate too? Cut down wanderers on the road who seek to speak.
No, that is my wrong.
And what price will you pay? What price will
My
the
life.
earth bid you pay?
I've lived here long enough. Why couldn't Roderick wait? Damn him.
You have. Have you not? You lack forgiveness.
Yeah, he doesn't have a way to stop himself right now. He recognized what he did was super wrong and he acted spitefully, but he also doesn't see a way out of this that makes him okay.
Did you not commit an equal sin? He in too much of a hurry, and you unwilling to change. Both rash in your conclusion. Is there not a balance that might be struck in these wrongs rather than the spread of more?
Roderick would never forgive me. Not after everything I've done. Everything I've said.
Have you always been so certain? I nearly envy it.
Yeah, he looks totally despondent, melancholic.
In the cloak of
Touches
the
the
man that
stump.
is bleeding on the road, there is your apology. That will help your pride. And I think there's frustration from Keith because he is also feeling this depression and this.
Yeah.
What do I do?
This is hurting.
I don't know
This
how
hurts
I
you.
can fix this either.
Yeah. This is a big old mess.
And I think he kind of gets up and he kind of reaches his full height. And he begins to just kind of pace around the tree, staring at the stump, trying to think in all of those rings and all of that time. Does the tree know any more answers than he does? Because he's running out. He doesn't know if it is better to do one or the other still.
No.
Just seems like both roads lead to the same kind of damnation, just a different route.
Right. So what do you decide? So you told him about the apology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think he's gonna follow you to get the apology.
So he'll lead the way down out of the darkness with Luid behind them.
Yeah. Gareth's
How is he?
still dying.
Keith calls to Owen.
Is he still alive?
He's unconscious. Yeah, he's living.
He barely lives. Unconscious. Is this the bard then? Luid?
This is the druid.
Hobbly old gray beard. Wearing right now a cloak outwardly with again like that ochre yellow.
Yeah. So Erwin will stand up and address Luid. I take it that Keith was able to persuade you to hear us out.
Specifically something on this gentleman.
Yes, this gentleman.
Yeah.
He'll gesture to Gareth.
I feel like Bros probably already has it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes.
And Bros passes it over to him. But he never opened it.
I forgot about the scroll. That's fine.
Sealed by our enemy. Yes, I see that. And he breaks it open. Yeah. He sees the written apology from the Earl.
Mm-hmm. Personally, he'll address Luid. Personally, I am deeply saddened by the loss of the sacred oak. I have restored a old stone on Cholderton and have come to appreciate the wisdom of the ancients, those who dwelled here before.
I love that you say this while Gareth is unconscious. Good.
Yeah.
I think Keith is going to actually interrupt because Keith is actually watching, I think, the dark spread onto that cold snow.
Yeah.
And we'll say, Luid, I heard rumor that you keep your life through its tether to this world, through your bond to it. You cannot control the spread, you tell me. Have you strength yet to help, to give more life? He's a curious oak, I will give you that, and twisted in his ways, but you have seen him. You knew he would be here. For as the fever dreams bring signs, so too to yours, I am sure. We begin to make right our wrongs on this hill. Please, help him.
He looks at you in a way that a teacher looks to a student for an answer to a question, but then does what you say.
And I think there's probably a kind of a silent nod from Keith that is kind of like, if you do this, I'll do what you've asked. I'll make that deal.
Yeah. Then I think there's he begins to look over Gareth and stabilize you. I don't know what his chirurgy would be, but I think an old ass druid would have a pretty high chirurgy. Let's say 18 for posterity's sake here. Okay. You got your chirurgy. So I think this is a scene of like you being carried to the grove, or I guess like the park, and you're being healed in this park. You do not want to know what's going on in your brain in Carcosa, as you're unconscious. So that's good. In the meantime, the druid will begin to unravel the spells that he has casted here. He needs to stay up all night. He takes off his cloak and begins to chant in old Pictish, and it's going to take till the sun rises, and by the whole night you're all out here. Him just kind of praying. He asks for your help occasionally, Keith, and then kind of like expires near the base of this tree. The spell has been unraveled. I think Bros collapses, unconscious. The two men with him are like, I think something's wrong with Bros.
Yeah, and I've been stabilized. Have I been brought up to 7 or higher, or am I still unconscious?
No, you're still unconscious. You're gonna get healed on Sunday.
That's fair.
Roll a d7. If it's a 7, it's Sunday. At noon, you'll get your hit points. Nope.
No.
Okay, it's Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, Bros just collapses.
Yeah.
And if no one else immediately runs over there, is there something? It might be that the wound that Gareth dealt him was more grievous than we thought, and he'll go see what's wrong.
Yeah. Bros is sick.
I don't think that everyone's going to get any closer.
Yeah, you feel his face. His skin is pallid. He's sweating.
Yeah. The sickness is spread.
Yeah, to him.
Yeah. Then Erwin's just going to stand up. Because we're in like a shadowy sort of otherworldly kind of.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
Now the sun has rose, and it is back to a snowy clearing.
We've survived the night. All right. I'll call out for help then, but Erwin's not getting any close.
I think Keith would begin, if he hadn't already, begin setting a fire to warm us because it is freezing.
Yeah,
and we're going to die of hypothermia.
Yeah,
otherwise.
there would have been a fire.
And on this fire, I don't know if this is going to be allowed, but I imagine we carry with us like wineskins, right? Because water is dirty and you just wouldn't.
Yeah, sure. You have a wineskin.
So what he would set about doing is setting to boiling some of that wine. And then would look, now that daylight is upon us, for herbs in amongst the grass that may still be alive beneath it. You know how you kind of scrape back and sometimes you can still get green grass?
Yeah. Totally.
Hoping to find something to put in this wine that might help Bros. Knowing that slow fever's slow fever, but...
Sure. Oh, I try and help Bros now. But I think what's interesting as we cut to the end of this session here is, what is your decision, Charlie? Because I think regardless, I think your ointments will help Bros get through the poison here. I think it's going to be or disease. He's going to get +5 to this, and his con is 13. So under 18. Nope. Okay, you fucking fumbled it. Yeah, okay. Nope, he's not better. Okay. I was not expecting to fumble this. Okay, I think the answer is Bros is dead. Bros doesn't live.
I think Keith would, even though it's not really Keith's place, would advise...
I roll a 20. Okay. Wow. Literally anything else would have been fine.
Here's the question. Does he end up dying before Gareth wakes up?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Like a couple hours.
Oh, he falls and he's gonna die that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that's up there.
It's bad.
Maybe he was sick all along.
Shouldn't have fought.
Just that religious fervor was
he was sick all along. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Should not have fought. Well, yeah, I'm curious, Charlie, as well.
I think Keith would kind of, as Ross dies, and I think it was very clear he was going to die probably for like the last 20 minutes or so, to Keith at least. Keith had been mulling it, and he says to Owen that he should take Gareth and take word back to the Earl that the sickness is no true curse, but it will still claim many in this land, and to bring word of its spread here in Broughton and the falling of Bros. To, if he wishes, placate the Earl to report Luid's death is the truth, regardless of how it is framed. But also he will add that Earl Roderick needs to find a new keeper for Shrewton, that the squire cannot rise to become a knight and take his place there.
I will. I do not know what price you paid here, Keith, but if you find yourself in Cholderton, you'll be welcome in my manor.
Oh, damn.
And should you see the standing stones, bid them welcome from me.
I will. And Erwin is going to make Gareth as comfortable as he can on the saddle.
I think Keith would actually help you saddle him onto Puka, who is a much kind of larger, broader horse. So
yeah.
It's a laying situation.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I'd like to make for Buckholt and see if they can't to keep Gareth there, because I don't want to take Gareth in a snowy ride, even in the day, even not at breakneck speed. I don't want to take him on a snow ride.
No.
Will they care for him there?
Yeah. Who lives at Buckholt?
I have a quick question before we take him away. If Keith were to look over Bros for any personal effects, not necessarily his sword, because he should probably be buried with that, but any sort of medallion or any kind of personal effect of that nature to send with Owen and Gareth.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Ring.
No, he has nothing like particularly identifiable, but yeah, I'm sure he has like a ring of something.
Okay, so yeah, Keith would carefully remove that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think it'd be probably some sort of amulet, maybe actually,
Okay.
or let's say it's a ring on a necklace.
Okay.
There you go. Sort of like Celtic crossy, woven.
Okay.
It's still metal. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
right.
So yeah, see if they'll care for Gareth at Buckholt, and yeah.
I mean, they absolutely will. Hospitality demands it.
Yeah, and I'll refresh, and guys, I'm not going to wait to rest. I'm going to ride for Serum because I got that energy.
Awesome. So Colin, Garrett's gonna wake up in the middle of a manor, unknown what happened, and then you're just gonna ride to Serum and tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then I think that's where we'll end it for today. This would be a 2-parter of a year. That was longer than I thought it was gonna be. I was like, oh, this would be like 30 minutes. I got a bunch of other stuff. Nope. That's fine.
Yeah, hold on, Eric. You saw like Sacred Carcosa Grove, and that was going to be something we
wouldn't just milk
through in 1/4 of the whole session.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
So one day we'll get to those manor improvements.
We're technically not even 489 yet.
That's not even 489.
Or to that letter I sent to Lady Grade.
Yeah. So cool. So I think no glory for this mess. Just a lot of good harsh lessons.
This is a mess. Yeah. Erwin is just bewildered. He spends the whole ride back trying to figure out what to just tell.
Well, I mean, in good news, the druid is dead, which is what the dude wanted. The druid got his apology. It didn't cost him any money.
Yeah, doesn't cost him anything. Yeah. The question I have is literally who cut it down? Like, was it the Earl? Because I don't know that we'd ever.
It wasn't the Earl. We don't know who did.
We don't know who did it, right?
Yes, you don't know. It's not proven. Who
it seemed like there's a lot of assumptions in that way. But Erwin is just going to tell him everything he knows. He's not going to hide.
I will say that the Earl does have a bunch of fresh lumber for the spring for building an improvement to his church.
Of course he does.
So
he needs a new high priest. So
he does. Father T passed away.
He's just going to relay the events as he understands them and as he witnessed them, and it doesn't cost you anything.
No. Well, Broughton's gone.
Broughton's gone.
Broughton's going to take a crap ton to fix.
Yeah. And the typhoid or the slow fever is do I understand right? Not part of the curse. Is just like it's a legit outbreak.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it will run its course.
Let's see. The other things to worry about here then is what Charlie mentioned about inheritance. Then, so there's no one living at Broughton or Shrewton now.
Yeah, Broughton and Shrewton lack heirs.
Right. So
well.
Yeah. And you wake up out of a cold sweat, you're like, 2 manors are available.
2 manors.
2 manors I could get.
Well, he was your half brother.
That was your half brother.
It's true.
Yes.
And I was a distant
heroically
cousin.
killed him by ramming myself onto his sword.
Yeah, and where is Keith from? What manor? What's
Shrewton.
Shrewton, where is that at?
That's up
I'm a
north.
little symbol.
North.
Yeah. So Keith
Oh yeah,
is,
there it is.
Right by
Okay.
Stonehenge. That's why
I
he
see it.
said about standing stones.
Sweet.
Yeah.
so Keith
Sweet.
is going to repair the grove.
Nice.
That's dope as fuck.
That is awesome.
Well, he's gonna try. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No. Well, I think what you end up doing, that would be a fun extra little takeaway here and there, seeing what the adventures of Keith and trying to find a new magical oak tree.
He sits on that oak stump for a long, long time. Then he stands on it for a long, long time. His arms like this.
I'm the oak. Why is it not working?
Yeah.
Cool.
All 6'6" of
Sweet.
him on top of
Yeah.
that stump.
So this was certainly an unconventional Pendragon episode,
Mhm.
but I appreciate it. So let's go around. Let's get horn and get out of here. Colin.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Colin Vulcanet. I am one half of the Phantom Roll Booth. You can find me on Twitter at ColinItLikeIC. I'm in this game and in Eric's other game, Miseries and Misfortunes. Charlie.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm sad I didn't get to run over at anyone because I have really good stats for running people over with a horse. I'm at Counter Roleplay by day. We have a whole host of new shows coming up. Our premieres week is the 20th, but I'm very excited because on Saturday we're playing Good Society, which I just really want to play at 3 p.m. Eastern if you want to come hang out.
Nice,
And Jim.
nice. Excellent. Thank you. I am Jim of WebDM. We just shot some new shows, which keep a lookout for those because I'm really excited about these new ones. But yeah, that's over on YouTube. And otherwise, you can catch me coming up in a few weeks or maybe even next week on Kobold Press's channel playing my Trollkin Ranger who, loves to betray everybody and get in trouble and all that good stuff because, D&D. And yeah, great time. Love to be back in the world of Uther Pendragon.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you all so much. I'm EricVulgaris here. Yeah, we'll be back next week for more 489. The origins of this session today all came from random rolls. I literally rolled 4 people almost dying because I used the Book of the Estate rules. So like if you get a 1 under survival when you're an adult, you have to roll another d20. And like 2 people made it, 2 people didn't. That's what we heard about. And literally I just rolled 1s for the causes of death for all of them. And it was illness. And so it's like, oh, except for one got magic. And I was like, oh, some weird curse and illness and disease. What kind of adventure could I make out of this? And so then I was like, oh, what if it was like a weird old druid? And no, what if I actually just went to a little bit of the other Chaosium products and spliced that in here a little bit. So anyways, thank you all so much. I was interesting for me to try. Charlie, you are an amazing guest. Thanks for coming on. I like to have more guests on here. It's always a little bit tricky with Pendragon because so much of it is a payoff of long time and long terms and stuff. But people who are excited to try it out, I'm excited to have you on. So anyways, thank you all so much. 49 part 2 coming at you next week. Thank you. And we'll be getting out of here. Good night.
Night.